Welcome back to Movie Moshow. Today we are going to review the fantasy mystery comedy film, Palm Springs. If you like our content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We upload multiple times daily. Spoilers ahead. On Tala and Abe's wedding day, November 9th, Niles awakens close to his girlfriend Misty. He gives a supposedly impromptu speech at the reception, much to the relief of Tala's sister, the inebriated and unprepared maid of honor Sarah. After becoming close friends and learning that Misty was cheating on Niles, Sarah and Niles are about to have sex when an older guy named Roy suddenly shoots Niles in the shoulder with an arrow. He warns Sarah not to follow as, wounded, he crawls toward a shadowy amber glow in a nearby cave. Sarah gets drawn into a cave vortex out of curiosity. On November 9th, Sarah awakens yet another time. Niles says that she has become trapped in the same time loop as him once she confronts him. Sarah makes numerous futile attempts to flee, including taking her own life or traveling back to her homeland. Niles and Sarah spend a lot of time together, frequently unwinding in the pool of a nearby house while the owners are away. Roy, who Niles also managed to catch in the time loop, is a family man who resides in Irvine, according to Niles. In a flashback, it is shown how Niles and Roy first met, went out, and used drugs that they obtained from Trevor. Roy wished the night wouldn't finish, and an inebriated Niles showed him the cave. Roy enters without realizing the temporal loop. Sarah is informed by Niles that Roy holds him responsible for the time loop and that he occasionally visits Palm Springs to seek retribution on Niles. After numerous additional loops, Niles and Sarah set up camp in the desert, where they dream about dinosaurs and eventually engage in sexual activity. Abe tells Sarah to go before she is spotted when it is discovered the next day that she spent the evenings of November 8th with him and has been waking up in his room. Sarah, who is filled with remorse, says she doesn't want to talk to Niles about their previous night because everything they do is pointless. They are stopped by a policeman, Roy, who turns out to be the culprit. After an altercation, Niles discloses that he had intercourse with Sarah several times before she entered the time loop, something he had previously denied. This happens when Sarah runs into Roy in his police cruiser. Sarah rushes in front of a truck heading toward her out of disgust, ending her life and starting the day again. After the subsequent reset, Niles tries to find Sarah to say sorry, but he is unable to do so. When Niles smells Sarah's hairspray on his pillow while lying in Abe's bed while the groomsmen use drugs, he knows that Sarah and Abe had sex the night before the wedding. During the wedding, he approaches Abe, and Niles and Abe start to fight. After several resets, Niles comes to the conclusion that he loves Sarah. Roy, who has given up trying to assassinate Niles, is the subject of his visit to Irvine. Roy adds that although he lives in the perfect day forever, he will never get to see the future or his children grow up, making his existence both perfect and flawed. Niles requests Roy to kill him one final time to kickstart the reset after Roy vows they should never talk again. When Sarah confronts Abe about their relationship and both of them express regret and remorse, the time loops where Sarah was absent are then displayed. After making the decision to break free from the time loop, Sarah spends days in a diner researching theories such as general relativity and quantum physics while conversing with lecturers until she finds a solution. Sending a goat into the cave with explosives allows her to verify her theory. The goat is no longer there on the following reset. By blowing themselves up in the cave before they begin the day, Sarah informs Niles she thinks she knows how to break out of the time loop. Niles is still asleep. Niles acknowledges his love for Sarah but says he would rather stay in the time loop, where he is certain of how everything will turn out, forever. Niles loses his cool and breaks up with Misty after she leaves him in the room by himself. Sarah makes a phone call, makes it to the wedding, and delivers a moving speech for Tala before heading to the cave with explosives. Niles makes the decision to depart with her while drinking alone in a pub and rushes to the cave, declaring he would rather die with her than stay in the loop by alone. Sarah returns his feelings, and they share a kiss as she activates the bomb. When the homeowners arrive and tell them it is November 10th, the scene swings back to Niles and Sarah relaxing once more in the empty pool, proving that the plan was successful. In the middle of the credits, Roy asks Niles at the wedding about Sarah's strategy for getting out of the loop. Roy knows the strategy has worked and beams when Niles cannot identify him. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.